The NFL draft is behind us, and that means we finally have draft capital. We finally have landing spots for all of the rookies we have been talking about for months, some of them years. So now let's revisit rookie rankings. What guys have risen up my ranks since the NFL draft? So we got 3 guys here. Let's jump right in. The first one is going to be Devon Achane. Obviously, he feels like a massive winner. He lands with the Dolphins. Not only does he land in one of the best possible landing spots in the NFL, he does it by getting day 2 draft capital. He gets taken in the 3rd round. Now that is a massive piece of this puzzle because if you've played Dynasty long enough, you understand or you know that day 3 running backs are for the most part replaceable, right? You can look at Tyler Algier, right? I mean, Dameon Pierce survived, but we all had the fear that he was about to get absolutely nuked basically during the draft. Day 2 draft capital, round 3, gives him a much longer leash in terms of value and potentially, his overall dynasty outlook. Why do we love this landing spot specifically? Well, one, right, his competition. It is Raheem Mostert. It is Jeff Wilson. 2 players that will never, ever play a full season, it seems, right? They are just destined to get hurt or banged up at some point in the season. And honestly, it feels as if they are looking for a true running back that can, win the backfield. Be a guy that's going to play 15, 16 games over the course of the season. So they are hoping they have that with Achane. The competition is weak. And in terms of scheme, I don't think there's a better fit for him, honestly, right? These slashing type runners just seem to do very, very well in these Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel zone schemes. So Achane fits that mold for the type of runner they want, right? So we talk about rising. Well, where does he rise to? He was a guy that before was going late 2nd round for us in our mock drafts and how we were treating him. Now, that's not the case. For me, he's still a 2nd round pick, but he belongs around the 201, right? The 202. That makes a lot of sense. If he was a bigger running back, if he was a more traditionally sized player, he'd be higher on my board. But again, we still can't just forget the type of player or all the evaluation we did prior to the NFL draft, right? Day 2 draft capital is great. Landing spot is awesome. He is still very undersized. He is still a small back. So there are going to be questions about his ability to hold up in the NFL, his ability long-term, if he can take the kind of hits necessary. You typically don't see a ton of smaller running backs have these massive fantasy roles. So that is working against him, and that's why I still cannot get him up into the 1st. Next on the list, it is Jayden Reed. Obviously, this is not a guy we have talked about a ton leading up to the NFL draft, but landing in the 2nd round with the Green Bay Packers, we have to mention it. He has to be a clear-cut winner in this draft. If you're not very familiar with Jayden Reed, he comes out of Michigan State. He has a elite year 1 breakout age, but the production, I don't think really ever got that much better over the next couple of seasons, right? He tops 1,000 yards as a junior. That looks great. He returns to school and is not an early declare, right? Comes out in year 4, but his production fell off in year 4 as well. So there are things with Jayden Reed that will still give people pause, right? Even with him landing in the 2nd round and him rising up draft boards, it's still going to be to the point of a mid to late 2nd rounder. You can't take him much higher because he's destined to be a slot wide receiver. And don't get me wrong, like in Green Bay, that's fantastic. They need that. He is going to have a very productive career. That's where I'm starting to lean with him, right? Out of the slot, he could be great. Do I think he's going to be a superstar for fantasy? Absolutely not. But, right, in terms of players I want to actually grab in my rookie drafts, day 2 wide receivers are on that list, right? Day 3 wide receivers I am completely devaluing. So Jayden Reed becomes an obvious winner. That is where you have to put him up. But again, I'm still going to be a little hesitant because of the profile itself for Jayden Reed. Before we get to the 3rd player, guys, if you want 2 additional rookie risers, sign up for the DLF YouTube membership. Our YouTube members are going to get an extra video laying out 2 other players that are rising up our rookie boards. Check out the DLF YouTube membership, guys. We have a bank of, I think, 12 or 13 videos now. You'll also get the opportunity to have Addison run a mock draft for your team in one of your Dynasty leagues. There's a ton of perks, so go and check out the DLF YouTube membership. All right, and our last rookie riser for this video, it is Kendre Miller. Now, he has risen up to my RB3 in this class. He lands with the Saints in the 3rd round. Again, very similar to Achane in terms of draft capital, a good landing spot, not as good, but he, to me, is a more prototypical NFL back. He has the size and the athleticism that I'm looking for in a running back, and Zach Charbonnet just had to fall given the landing spot. So Kendre Miller with the Saints becomes my RB3. Now, why do I love the fit with the Saints? Well, they have been looking for a true second back behind Alvin Kamara for a long while, it seems. And he is going to be that. Yes, they signed Jamal Williams, but Jamal Williams, outside of, working inside the 5, really is not a great runner. Kendre Miller can be that. He can do things that Jamal Williams cannot, while also still operating as that short yardage hammer that Jamal Williams thrives in. Kendre Miller could take that role from him, right? But again, he does more. He forced the 3rd most missed tackles in all of college football last year. He has wiggle. He has the ability to create yards on his own. And when you look at Alvin Kamara, who is facing a potential suspension, I will be shocked if he doesn't get at least a 6-game suspension this year. There is an opportunity for him to step in and be the RB1 on this team from day one with Kamara out, and then hopefully win the job and be the RB2 paired with Alvin Kamara. And we've seen that duo work before, right? We know the Saints can operate with 2 running backs and do it successfully. And now you have Derek Carr, you have an improved offense, you have Michael Thomas back, year 2 of Chris Olave. There should be plenty of scoring opportunities, plenty of volume for him to be a very relevant potential RB2 in fantasy as a rookie. So Kendre Miller is a guy I think is just set up very, very well leaving the NFL draft. All right, guys, that is all we have for you. Again, if you like these videos, check out the DLF YouTube membership. If you have questions, you have comments, drop those down below as well. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.